With the battle power of the Sea Realm, Manhwa then jumped on top of his pet, screamed, merged, and the two then flew into the air. The original angel was gradually wrapped in a layer that looked like cold lava, then he merged his body into the haunted beast, becoming a four-armed beast with a human head. Tabin saw this scene and rubbed his chin. Even can merge with a star pet, so cool. After the fusion transformed into the virtual cave state of fighting power, the next moment, extremely cold killing intent and demonic energy naturally poured out, from each of his pores, instantly transforming into surrounding areas. In a cold area, his eyes were filled with a purple aura like a dream. The legendary Blue Star Battle Pet Master, Manhwa then received his teachings. The old people below couldn't help but take a few steps back, not daring to get close. Manhwa then at this time. This is a fusion secret skill that can only be mastered at the advanced level. Seeing it with my own eyes for the first time, it's terrifying. After fusion, the combat power breaks through another level. This is not a war. We can participate. Carry the 2 marbles and run quickly, otherwise everyone will die. Seeing this, Dao Tun quickly loudly advised Lord Nguyen. Please calm down, if 2 legends fight here, this city will definitely become a scrapyard. Hearing this, the former angel couldn't help but snorted coldly. Fighting? What a funny joke, they are like 2 rats stealing from the kitchen, because with just 1 blow, she can choose whether to eat boiled chicken or green bananas. As soon as he finished speaking, he used time-space teleportation to disappear on the spot. In the blink of an eye he was standing behind Anna. An arm of his pet beast immediately appeared. A full-force blow containing vitality struck straight down to where she was standing. Anna, on the other hand, did not avoid him at all. The moment the force approached, she slowly raised a hand and grabbed the tip of the halberd, not even able to make a strand of her blonde hair fly away. The head of the halberd was directly crushed by the little hand, and a trace of trouble flashed in her eyes. Is that all you have? Manhwa then is no longer calm. He finally understood how much difference there was between the 2 sides. Anna had been very gentle just now, but she didn't expect that this ant wouldn't thank her. She only saw the golden light condense on her palm, and the long golden light spear slowly and quickly took shape. Her attack was very simple. The long spear broke through the void, shot. In a moment, the long spear broke through Manhwa's chest and pierced through his body, transforming into one with the pet beast. A trace of indifference flashed in Anna's eyes. The divine spear, an offering to that person. The divine spear seemed to understand the owner's wishes, shining divine light right where it touched. Manhwa then felt intense pain from his chest spreading to his whole body. The long, golden spear is in his chest, like a smoothie straw, sucking his vitality dry. Tabin saw this and immediately opened his mouth to stop. Please don't kill people. Anna pulled the divine spear out of Manhwa's chest. Rest assured that just by burning his primordial spirit, he can restore his current cultivation level in 35 years. The people outside the store quickly realized the results. Unbelievable, they didn't expect to lose in 1 move. Tabin expressed impatience. Raise your finger. Still here? Come here. At this time, these 9th-level experts were admired by countless people. It was like standing in the cold wind for a long time. Everyone's face was pale. Cold sweat covered their heads. Trembling in refusal. Apologizing thousands of times. We had eyes but couldn't see the mountain. We immediately bowed down and surrendered. Angry, Tabin bent down and asked in a low voice if Anna used any curses or evil objects. Hearing that, she disdainfully said, Are you kidding? I am a noble and elegant god. How could I master this kind of despicable trick? Tabin couldn't help but look at her and then slowly stretched out 2 fingers. 2 bonus points for employee character. Anna gets a point increase. Only then did he open his mouth to speak. You worry that they are double-minded. Want to keep the weakness, right? Tabin praised her for being smart, then she was coldly snorted. Well, look closely here. This god will transform magic into these shrimp. Immediately afterward, a blinding light instantly appeared on the elders. Just seeing the expressions on their faces, they were all shocked and shouted loudly that they were gods. Oh my god, I have seen the divine light. Dao Tun, not far away, was extremely frightened at this time. The title level expert in the form of a child, could it be that he is from another world? If that's the case, the expert lurking in this magic shop isn't simply legendary level. Bin curiously asked, what did she do with them? Anna crossed her arms and explained. This is a divine blessing, giving them a little faith to make them devout. This is a spell specifically used on people whose hearts are moved. In the hearts of those who are blessed, they will be born. With strong faith in whatever you dictate, she stopped for a moment and continued speaking. If the blessed person disobeys the curse maker's command, he will be burned by hellfire for 10 days and 10 nights, until he turns into dust. On the surface, Bin applauded, but in his heart he thought, isn't that too cruel? After that, he did not delay any longer and spoke towards the 4 great families. Then believe, the Tu family is sacred and inviolable. Families with my seal must not desecrate the Tu family. They listened respectfully and knelt down on the ground to worship. Bin didn't pay attention anymore. He suddenly turned towards Dao Tun and smiled. That's right, Dao Tun, you've come anyway. Are you interested in teaching me sword techniques? Dao Tun's sweat dropped immediately. He quickly said, Boss Tu, you are too rude. I don't mean anything. Your strength, do you really need to learn it from me? Bin smiled and said, holding his fist. Of course. Senior, please teach me. Hearing that, Tun suddenly looked awkward. Since you have made up your mind like that, then I won't refuse. But I have 2 questions. One is my sword technique. Has great destructive power and needs a large place to study. Second, do you really want to learn? According to my observations, the strategy you are cultivating is mainly using punches. Hearing that, Bin did not change his expression. Please rest assured. Leave your contact information. I will contact you in a few days. Half a day later, Lang Wei was lying on the table in a coma. Slowly open your eyes. Bin looked kindly and asked, are you awake? Do you feel anything uncomfortable in your body? Lang Wei shook her head, just a little dizzy. What's wrong with Mom? Bin then said with peace of mind, maybe Mom was too tired so she fell asleep. At this moment, the Mu family elder appeared next to Lang Wei with a charming face. Hi. Hello, Miss Tu. When Lang Wei saw this, he suddenly showed an expression like he had seen a ghost. She looked at the group of strangers before her and asked, who are you? The Old People's Association began to introduce themselves. Tiu Miss, you can just call me Tiu Muk. Then in order. Tiu Duang, Tiu Lu, Tiu Tan. When Lang Wei heard that, his face suddenly turned black. What is Tiu? She immediately asked Bin. What the hell are they doing? Why are they at our house? What are you doing? Bin just wants to explain briefly. You caught them? No, it was the tutor who invited them home. Lang Wei heard that and was a little skeptical. You just said you caught it. Now what the hell are you learning about? My performance is in the top 10. Do you think I'm an idiot? Bin said slowly. I haven't reached the top yet. The elite tournament is about to open. During this time they can guide me with knowledge that the academy doesn't have. Lang Wei crossed her arms and asked these old men. Excuse me, what are you teaching? The old man with his head sticking to one side opened his mouth first. Tiu Lu is incompetent and has the title of Poison King. I can teach you a few things. Level 9 poison and detoxification techniques. At Ha Tiu Tan, the title of Recovery. I can teach you some level 9 healing and body strengthening techniques. Tiu Duang, Snake Heart title. I can teach you a few things. Level 9 dark weapon and organ magic. Finally, the red-haired man holding a small white dragon said. Tiu Muk, given the title of Beast Emperor. I can teach you to control level 9 star gun. I also prepared a silver moon dragon for you. Lang Wei covered her mouth and smiled happily. Unexpectedly, all of them are level 9 powerhouses. I gave myself a moon dragon silver mist dragon. It's not a dream. Can I really have it? Brother, is everything they said true? Is it trustworthy? Seeing that, Bin smiled slightly. Of course, he suddenly stood up. Tell Lang Wei, anyway, rest assured and study well with them. I have to go back to the store. His watch suddenly vibrated. After Bin received the phone call, the waiter opposite immediately said respectfully, Hello to Tianxin. The real estate you ordered before and the blood transfer are both ready for transaction. I would like to ask if you have anything now. Is it convenient? Bin thought to himself. What a professional team, working very effectively. Immediately he responded. No problem. Come to my store to do business. Time passes quickly. 10 days passed, and late in the afternoon, boss started closing the shop to rest. Bin's income was converted into 120,000 energy points. Signaled the system to open the upgrade panel immediately. He looked at the upgrade panel, thinking to myself, level 3 shops can unlock the right to raise pets of levels 7 and 9. In the future, you can receive hundreds of thousands of orders from young owners like Deep How. Your income will double, and you can also sell pet functions. It looks more and more like a complete pet store. He was excited. His finger clicked on the upgrade button, but Bin also stood dumbfounded in front of the counter. The system reminded me to deduct 100,000 energy points, leaving more than 25,000 points, which converted the designated real estate into a store. Total area is 3,078 square meters. Neighboring streets will also enter the protection scope. I wonder if there is zoning now? After dividing the area, it will automatically generate profitable resources. Bin heard this and laughed like a villain, so he could cultivate the equipment. Too thrifty? Truly invincible. Then, he circled an area of 300 square meters on the map to use as a place to live. The first is to ensure the lives of his mother and sister. At the same time, in the area drawn by Bin, all kinds of household appliances appeared in the blink of an eye. Anna next to her was startled. There was some mysterious force creating items from nothing, and not just like normal organisms need energy to sustain. This is a real thing that can last forever. Our supreme god is afraid that he cannot reach this level. Where does this energy come from? Bin continued to zone on the display system map, continuing to mark 1/10 of the area on the map, which is the reception area and office. The sound of a ding is the sound of something completed. Many office devices were created immediately. Bin then outlined 1/5 as a breeding area, and finally used the remaining areas as nurturing and testing areas. Then the system prompted, the zoning was completed, the number of aquariums increased from 25 to 50. Bin did not hesitate, directly purchased 25 level 2 aquariums, and after purchasing the remaining 348 points, he became a passer. Poor monkey. Then he asked, what powers does the system employee have? The system repeats, uses training space, and clone image training function. Every week, follow the store owner to the training area and ask if you want to arrange authority or not. Bin smiled and confirmed the authorization. Having these permissions is enough to maintain the daily operations of the store. Mother and daughter Lang Wei looked at the upgraded store and both looked surprised. For a moment, they felt like they had gone to the wrong place and did not dare to enter. The store's area has expanded several times, and there are dragon statues on both sides. Even the wall outside the store is also meticulously decorated. Store quality increased 10 times. This is clearly a place of high-end consumption. Bin saw this and laughed. Everyone is here. Did you bring enough things? The fourth master outside the door told boss that the luggage had been packed and loaded into the car. If there is nothing, we will take our leave. Bin commanded the unloading truck and said, then go home and move your things in. At this time, Lang Wei asked confusedly. They brought people from the moving company early in the morning? Remove all the furniture in the house. What is this? Do I still have to go to school? And Li Tan Nhu also expressed doubts about why our store has changed so completely. Bin heard that and smiled slightly. It's a long story. I took a leave of absence from school. Now go inside, there's a bustling scene going on inside. Many students wanted to send their star pets to be raised, and also wanted to ask for Anna's phone number. And Anna said coldly, don't get in line with these insects. Immediately, Bin asked him not to call customers like that. Today, Anna dressed like a store employee, attracting the eyes of teenage boys, who all looked at her confusedly. She looked at Bin and asked, you're just a bunch of insects. Where are you going when there's a crowd? Bin didn't even look at her. Directly waved his hand to indicate that he had work and told her to take care of the store. Tu Langwei walked around the area when she saw the swimming pool. I couldn't help but cry out in surprise, is this a private swimming pool? But Bin seems to have more interesting things waiting. Going to her new room, Tu Langwei was filled with joy. I can't believe it, looking at it all. This is your new bedroom. This place is much more comfortable than our old bed. Bin did not stop and continued to walk around with mother and child. But Li Tan couldn't help but ask his son. This house must be very expensive. Bin smiled. Don't worry, a few wealthy customers in the city pay well. Last time, I fostered pets for them. They were satisfied with the results and immediately spent money without thinking. This amount of money is insignificant to them. Everyone can rest assured here in the future. If the house is too big, I will hire a few maids to clean and cook. Li Tan smiled happily when he heard that. No need, since I retired, my mother only has these housework to kill time. Tu Langwei smiled evilly. Brother, who is that beautiful and lovely girl in the shop just now? Bin heard this and silently mocked him. So gentle and lovely? Seems like it has nothing to do with it. Thinking that in the future, they will encounter each other every day. An introduction is better. He replied that he was a new employee. Li Tan Nhu immediately revealed a thoughtful smile. Mom understands me. Call her to have a meal together at noon. Bin suddenly looked awkward. In just a moment it was time to eat. Anna at Bin's request. Come have dinner with his family. Anna said elegantly and politely. Hello aunt, hello sister. Li Tan seemed to ask. Little girl, what's your name? She smiled elegantly. I'm Anna, Tu Langwei said next to him. Your blonde hair is so beautiful, can I touch it? Bin immediately raised his hand to stop. Anna, on the other hand, spoke naturally. Tu Langwei's face was fascinated by the touch. It was so soft and smooth. Li Tan Nhu opened her mouth again. Where are you, Anna? How old are you this year? Do you have a boyfriend? Hearing that, Bin almost spat out the rice. Anna smiled back. I'm out of town. I'm a foreigner, just 18 years old and have no intention of finding a boyfriend. Bin wiped his mouth and whispered to her. Okay, in front of them it's as gentle as the real thing. Anna immediately changed her face. It's an employee's duty. If you don't like it, you can just make it weirder. Bin heard that and immediately coughed a few times to hide it. He quickly pretended to be wiping his mouth. Cough cough, that's good. He silently teased. Li Tan asked again. Currently there are only the two of you in the store. Are you very busy? Anna replied. With the current number of visitors. No problem. If one person does it, it's a bit difficult. Tu Langwei heard that and immediately showed admiration. You are so good. I saw there were hundreds of customers in the store. Bin heard that and thought to himself that with Anna's ability, he only needs one more person to help her. He doesn't have to go to the store during the day. He looked at the painting in the storage space and thought to himself. The image of the young master of the Duong family. It's like she's still locked inside. If she doesn't let her out, it won't be convenient for her to grow a spirit tree. Should she be released? Now she can be useful. Suddenly the system prompt rang. Discovering that the host needed more people, a seasonal employee contract was issued. Seasonal employees do not have the right to use the store's functions. Reaching 200 points can be promoted to official employee. Below 60 points, all are forced to become pets. Bin looked at the temporary contract in his hand, revealing a sinister smile. Very good, very perfect. Then he chanted and opened the book. Take Nhu Yen straight out of the picture and throw it out. Duong Nhu Yen was suddenly pulled out like that. Flipped a few times and landed in front of Bin. This time standing in a large room. She looked suspiciously at Bin. What do you want to do? Bin slowly revoked the contract and said. Take off your shoes first. Otherwise, I'll be the one cleaning up later. Duong Nhu Yen looked at the surrounding environment and thought to himself. This place looks like a normal bedroom. Could it be this person's house? And now he is alone. There was no pet nearby. There was no feeling of being protected by a master around her. She was truly defenseless. All she had to do was seize the opportunity to break the window to escape. She didn't think much anymore. Her strong feet were strong. She jumped up and aimed directly at the window next to her. She looked through the window just a meter away and felt secretly happy. After returning, I will summon all the elites of the Duong family to let him know how to imprison this young lady. What will be the price for messing with the Duong family? A bang rang out. Duong Nhuyen's whole body violently bumped into the window and the window still didn't move. She was also dizzy. She couldn't. She felt the lump on her head. What is this window? Why is it so hard? Suddenly her stomach started to gurgling. Damn, she must have been locked up for so many days without food to make her weak. What a scumbag. Tabin suddenly stood up from the bed with a cold face. In his hand he was still holding a bag of freshly baked dumplings. Duong Nhuyen looked at Tabin who was approaching and shouted angrily. What do you want to do? Tabin heard that and smiled slightly. Of course I'm thinking about how to squeeze the most value out of you. When Duong Nhuyen saw this, he was so scared that he immediately retreated. Don't mean anything bad. But Tabin didn't say anything more. Slowly reach out towards her. Duong Nhuyen quickly protected that huge chest with both hands, gritted her teeth and said, I will never let you do that. I only saw Tabin slowly spread his hands, revealing that hot bun, still steaming. Looking at Tabin holding a dumpling sitting next to her, her face also froze for a moment. She didn't know what he was thinking. Duong Nhuyen said through gritted teeth. Do you want to humiliate me with this? Our Tang family is all professionally trained, even if we starve to death. Suddenly, Tabin tore open the dumpling to reveal a fragrant meat filling. Suddenly, the room was filled with a fragrant aroma. Meanwhile, Duong Nhuyen's face instantly changed. Hungry for countless days, she quickly picked up the dumpling to take a risk. Stuffing into the mouth, she said fiercely, You are dead. I am no longer of any use. Hearing that, Tabin proudly took the contract when the noise arose. You are wrong. You have value. This is a temporary labor contract. The next day, the kids in the store were admiring. The number of beauties increased again. This store is also very good. Welcome to the store. Anna and Duong Nhuyen wore professional maid outfits ordered by Tabin. They looked very professional and had an employee aura. Anna's face remained unchanged. Welcome to the store. Compensation please divide into 2 rows. Duong Nhuyen is both angry and embarrassed. Why am I being stared at by these rotten men? What you call value is serving these untouchable people. Anna corrected, serving the ants. Looking at the figure walking out of the store, Duong Nhuyen's eyes revealed a look of anticipation. Because it's right in front of her, she thought to herself, the door is open right there. There's no way to stop me. Su Bin glanced at her and saw through her intentions. He took out the contract and said, Don't forget, you signed this. You won't be able to step out of this door for a year. Duong Nhuyen heard this and said with an unwilling face. You took advantage last night. Use me when I'm in trouble, make me sign. Then, she shrugged and ran away, saying, Don't think I can be forced by this piece of paper. Goodbye. The next second, the moment she rushed to the door, the entire door seemed to have an invisible energy membrane, directly blocking her. Then the invisible wall suddenly emitted an opposing force. Directly shooting the road. Nhuyen flew back, her whole body trembling as she stood up and said, What a magic shop. If the window is not broken, that's it. The main door can't get out either. Tabin saw this and slowly said to Anna, You're an old girl. Teach her how to do things. You can give her 1 more point. Anna immediately nodded in agreement. Right at this moment, 2 men appeared in front of the door, looking like reporters, and he shouted into the house. May I ask who Mr. T is? Tabin heard the sound and immediately went out of the store to speak. It's me, that kid said. May I ask, have you booked a service to film and run advertisements on the train? Where was the photo taken please? Do you need to take any more photos? Tabin opened the space summoning while thinking to himself. Currently in the store, most of the people in the store are still training strategies of level 6 or below. The number of old customers sent to raise pets is relatively low. Must find more. Some new customers need nurturing above level 7. A giant dragon head. From the summoning space, a head popped out. It was the Purgatory Wish Dragon Beast. Tabin wants to target wealthier customers. spend a large amount of money to invite staff to film commercials to introduce the mischievous pet store. From the summoning space, a black and foul-smelling dragon head emerged. Hell's bamboo dragon beast has just stepped out of the summoning space. He scared people to death, let alone filmed him. Bin thought to himself. Currently, most of the customers are old customers who have raised pets under level 6. We have to find many new customers who need to be raised from level 7. These two young men clearly I didn't know I had to film a commercial with a black dragon with a fiery head. Bin waved his hand back and signaled. I want to film this little treasure. Passers-by were also attracted to come and see. Everyone just pointed. The smell of blood from it was so distinct. It felt like I was standing in hell. It's so good to act in a movie with such big props. The young man was trembling as if standing in the cold weather. He cautiously pointed the recorder towards Bin. May I ask what you want to advertise? Bin smiled and said simply. No advertising needed. Just take a photo of the dragon and the store name. He thought to himself. The bamboo dragon hell is ranked second in the dragon pit. It was my mechanical pig that I didn't throw out until the end of the game. A knowledgeable high-level war pet master can recognize a genuine item with just a glance. Suddenly, Lang Wei's voice appeared in the crowd. Bin heard him turn around and ask why he didn't come to class today. Lang Wei pointed to the group of old people standing behind her and said, I could go, but they always followed me. Even to go to the bathroom, I waited outside. Their aura is so strong. My teachers and classmates, I'm scared to death. Bin heard that haha and laughed. Rest assured that they have no bad intentions. I asked them to protect you. At this time, Duong Nhuyen, standing not far away, discovered someone who looked familiar and couldn't help but stop. She looked closely at Elder Duong in the crowd and muttered. Is that Senior Snake Tam, wonderful? If I meet Senior Snake Tam here, Bin, do you think you can take away my tools? How to contact family? So naive. Furthermore, the elder you defeated was only ranked 8th in our Tang family. And Senior Snake Tam is a ranked 3 master. Duong Nhuyen immediately transmitted the sound to Snake Tam. Snake Tam Senior? Is it you? I am Yen Nhi. Snake Heart sounds a bit doubtful. Does the spirit transmit sound? Ben turned around and saw Duong Nhuyen. He quickly transmitted the message to ask, why is the young master here? The family has been looking for someone in the secret world for a long time. Duong Nhuyen quickly responded, it was very long-winded. I was caught by a villain and was arrested. Detained here. Quickly save me. Hearing that, Exa Tam pointed his finger at Bin and his brothers who were talking. Is it because I was arrested? Duong Nhuyen immediately didn't understand the meaning after hearing it. Suddenly, Bin revealed an evil smile. Slowly turned around to look at Duong Nhuyen. Duong Nhuyen looked at him until he broke out in cold sweat. Duong Nhuyen quickly ran away. In her heart, she was secretly scared. Almost discovered. What did Senior Snakeheart say just now? Although he was also afraid that Bin would discover that he was sneaking around. But he didn't leave and chose to observe from afar. She cautiously looked outside and saw Bin giving instructions. Try not to bother her. Now our main expertise is coaching. You can take turns coming to tutor to Lang Wei every day. The two elders heard this and quickly nodded respectfully in response. Duong Nhuyen was horrified when he saw this scene. Not just our family's Snake Heart predecessors. There is also Lu Da's predecessor, the Poison King. They are the best in the city. All were controlled by Bin. What the hell is going on? Nightfall. The system suddenly appeared asking for help. Anna's employee score increased slightly. Scored 104 points. Bin opened his hand and opened the storage space. The other hand opened the cosmic fire fist. In his heart, he thought to himself, Anna's score has increased again. Under the system's supervision, she is not lazy to skip work. For employee training, just a few points that can be redeemed is very good. What a treat. Then he stored the crystal star tree in space. Throw into the picture. The spirit tree had just fallen to the ground. Having twisted its entire body, the roots expanded to their fullest extent. Bin looked at it in surprise. This tree is like a living organism, able to find soil to take root on its own. The system displays a warning that this tree's qualifications are too low. Even consciousness has not awakened, living for tens of thousands of years and still just being a plant. Now at most we can only reach 20% of the opening process. Already a rare great tree. To Bin assessed. Living more than 10,000 years, only 20% of the clearing process. But how many people have such a desire? If it's completely cleared, I'm sure it'll be fine to make food for my star pets. To Bin recovered the painting. It is said that the star and spirit tree are only a few decades old. It takes more than 100 years to produce results. It's far from being a long-term trade item. If it's really possible like the system says, its next step is to evolve into a star pet. Combining treatment to increase treatment capabilities. Sometimes we can harvest fruit every year. The system prompts again. The host has not met the prerequisites for spiritual awakening ability. Become a trainer first. To Bin saw this and analyzed. Therefore, it is. After becoming a battle pet master, the next step is to become a trainer. Even though I'm the owner of a pet store, I sound as loud as a cartwheel. But the knowledge of true nourishment is still just a tamarind tree losing hair and a cow losing its leaves in this world. It can be said that training up to now, all depends on the strength of the system. In this aspect, more training is needed. But there's no time to think about that right now. The story of Manhwa then has been going on for a while. But it's hard to guarantee this won't happen again to someone else. The urgent task is to continue to improve combat power and prestige. Then he let the system open the semi-god Earth interface. He entered the nursery, his mind still thinking. Even though I don't want to be famous, I can practice at home every day and develop based on the system's capabilities. But Mother and Lang Wei need a normal life. We can't let them live their whole lives in shops or under the supervision of old men. So we must quickly become strong to a level that no one dares to tease in this city. To Bin was in the room where he was teleported. Anna, who was outside the door, suddenly realized that the surrounding space had changed. She was startled that power was appearing. It is the power behind To Bin. Time passes fast. After the training period ended, To Bin returned to lie down on the bed. He said it himself, he was so happy that he was reborn 100 times. Finally killed the leader of the worm clan that was tougher than that earthworm. He took off his clothes and mumbled. Since revival is no longer free, I no longer dare to freely risk my life, and the store's income is not too abundant to exchange resurrection points. After taking a shower, I continued, and the first form of the demon god fist was successfully practiced. Just as he opened the door to prepare to take a shower, he suddenly saw Anna bringing him soup. Just a moment later, Anna finished preparing, heat rising throughout the room. She suddenly said, "This is what my aunt told me to cook soup for you to drink." To Bin looked at the bowl of soup in her hand and didn't show much joy. Cooking soup for herself, when did she become so enthusiastic? But never mind, I'm invincible in the store anyway, even if she wants to poison me, I can't. Thinking so, he raised the steaming bowl of soup and simply gulped it all down. Anna suddenly asked, "Did you just use space to teleport to the Divine Land?" To Bin was startled, her perception is so sharp, I can tell where she goes. To Bin replied, knowing clearly that he still tried to ask, "If you have anything you want to say, just say it directly." Anna stood aside and crossed her arms and said, "Next time, bring me along. I can use some of the benefits of the Central Divine Land to help you improve your cultivation." To Bin glanced at him. There must be another purpose. I'm easily fooled. Anna opened her mouth to explain again, "Don't worry, this time there's no need to call the staff. You just need to allow me to handle some personal matters." To Bin looked at Anna, who was silently waiting for him to answer. She is learning the limits of this store, checking what the system can do, what it cannot do, with a lot of thought. But even if you come up with an unreasonable idea, you will also be subject to the pressure of the contract. You cannot do anything that is too much for an employee. The agreement will bring me many benefits. He stood up and slowly approached Anna. "Where is Duong Nhu Yen? If you come with me, how can she take care of the shop alone?" Anna had already made a calculation in her heart. In response, "Rest assured, I have already taken care of it." She must have been tired after working all day. Furthermore, I will give her some more lulls to sleep, unless there is something wrong. What makes a loud noise? Otherwise, she will sleep until morning. Bin heard that and slowly put on clothes. It seems she is ready. Worked very neatly. He didn't say anything more, grabbed Anna's hand, and the vortex on the semi-divine interface immediately became stronger. From there emitted bright yellow light. Bin entered the training area and said, "Come with me." Hurry up. Anna was also confused by his decisiveness. Let's go now? The two of you were teleported into a streak of golden light and landed on the world tree in the land of the demigods. It was the demigod who asked the world tree. The air was filled with familiar energy. Anna was terrified right now. It's really back. At first I just wanted to test him. See if there were any clues. I didn't expect the space to be this large. All he has to do is wave his hand. This person is indeed very strong. This human race really has a chance to take me to the realm of high wisdom. If I really have a chance to see that place. For a moment, he suddenly laughed stupidly. Seeing this, Bin couldn't help but cough and laugh. Stop laughing. It's a long way from being an excellent employee. Where are we going? I'm not very familiar with this place. You? Anna said unhappily. I don't know your strength. Will it cause any harm to our family? Forget it, I have already informed the main god to manage this land. He'll come pick us up soon. Bin asked curiously. The main god? What realm is that? How is your divine realm divided? Anna frowned and patiently explained. That's a basic question to ask. Pure-blooded gods from birth to adulthood are true gods. The same level as those bunches who harass us all day long. Bin was surprised in his heart. So the pure blood of the god race. Equivalent to a level 10-star pet in Lam Tin. Anna stopped for a moment and continued speaking. Our great divine world is not as complicated as yours. There are only 6 floors. In order is the true divine realm. Up there is an angel scene. At the top is the supreme god. Her face suddenly darkened. But the supreme divine realm has disappeared because very few people can break through that realm. Currently it can only be counted as 5 floors. Hearing that, Bin was also a bit affected. It turns out that because of the limited capacity, there are many lurking enemies. It's no surprise that Anna was willing to take the risk of signing an employee contract. To find the supreme divine realm. Suddenly a big blonde guy. Landing from the sky. He respectfully bowed. My servant has come to pick you up. This taste is. Anna answered quickly. This is my distinguished guest. Take him with you. Lord God. I couldn't help but glance at Bin. He didn't dare ask much. Just show respect to him. Then the main god raised his finger and said, "Please hold my hand." In a blink of an eye, the surrounding green world suddenly disappeared. When Bin opened his eyes again, blue sky and white clouds appeared elsewhere. The world around has transformed. This time there are many residential areas floating in the air. Bin was a little scared. Shunning is a secret skill. Unexpectedly, teleportation here has become a daily movement skill. Moreover, each teleportation distance is very far. Completely beyond his understanding. Just a few more minutes. Bin appeared outside a castle. Spacious and magnificent. Anna said to the other man. You can come back. The remaining 2 people went inside. Standing on both sides are the maid and the guard. Wherever the 2 of them went, someone bowed to them. Anna coldly ordered the preparation of the divine selection. Bin was a bit surprised when he heard that. Divine power. Have it ready to spread. Before leveling up, you have to shower and change clothes. The 2 entered deep into the castle. Anna slowly opened a large door. Only seen above than Tuyen Lake. There were giant gods standing silently, with large chains around their necks. When the 2 entered, they suddenly raised their swords and cut their wrists. The blood of many gods fell from above. Pouring into the lake below creates a soaking area. Thick yellow blood flows down, emitting a distinct divine scent in the air. Seeing that, Bin was also shocked. It's beyond imagination. Anna spoke slowly. This divine selection can wash away impurities in the blood. Improve awareness and character. The effect of increasing cultivation is better, 100 times better than the beast in the store. She paused for a moment and continued speaking. Only the head of the family has the right to do so. Take a dip here once a year. This is too much of a favor for people. When you finish soaking, there is also an arena specializing in fighting skills. Let your pet exercise. Hearing that, Tabin was extremely satisfied. Still laughing. Very good. If you can soak regularly, it's better. Suddenly Anna spoke seriously. So let's make a deal. Every time you bring me back here, I will let you soak in the magic spring once. As for you, I want you to stop hunting and killing insects in the future. Hearing this from the gods themselves, they searched for every possible way to destroy the insect race. Tabin couldn't help but be surprised and asked why. Don't you guys always confront the insect race? We both have the same goal. Why do you want to stop me? Anna looked at Tabin with a gloomy face. Because I can smell the divine essence emanating from your body. Tabin couldn't help but snort and even raised his armpit to smell it. I don't smell anything strange. Anna suddenly turned around and said. When you first came here, did you pay attention to the tree world? That is our mother. After a god dies, the body will turn into divine power and become a part of the great tree. Our mother trains us by mixing it all together. And then we are born as independent individuals. With your intelligence, you probably know what I want to say. Tabin replied nonchalantly. After being devoured by the insect race, the divine power remained in the insect race's body in the form of divine crystal, so it could not return to the great tree. The goddess's voice became slower than ever. It can be said that the higher our concentration, the more divine power returns to the great tree after death. Therefore, with each iteration, the total divine power of the entire divine domain increases greatly. But then the insect race appeared. Many gods died at their hands, equivalent to the increase in divine power. Moreover, without the supreme god realm, no god can break through to the supreme god realm. Our ancient divine race, which was extremely glorious, has only recently reached the level it is now. Anna said these words, unable to contain the sadness in her words. After hearing this, Tabin suddenly raised her hands and gave all the divine crystals he had to her. He said softly, I only got this much yesterday. Anna was stunned. In her impression, Tabin was not such a kind person. On the contrary, Tabin showed a warm smile near his head, telling her to accept it, proving that he could understand her. As he spoke, he summoned all his pets. I understand what you mean. I just want to say that I swallowed your divine crystals, no different from the other star insect races, right? I won't touch those insects anymore, okay? Right and wrong. After that, he pretended not to pay attention to the situation. After all, the goal is to increase combat power, which is fine in this divine spring. Take them to the arena, don't hold back during training, show them the tricks of the gods. His favorite animal left recklessly. Tabin was alone, immersed in the feeling of both pain and pleasure in the divine spring. The feeling of both comfort and tingling is strange. Anna stood behind him holding the crystal and said, Thanks for understanding. If there's nothing else, I'll leave. If anything happens, just call me. Tabin suddenly opened his mouth. Have you ever heard of the magical fire star? We cannot find this material on the blue star. Know that it is the heart of the god DM2 in the true god realm. Although it's rare, I can send subordinates to hunt for you. Tabin gradually sank down to enjoy the feeling of the divine spring. Don't forget to hurry up, I'm only missing this ingredient. Anna behind bowed to him and brought the pet to the arena. She thought silently in her heart. I didn't expect him to lose half a day. You can get so many divine crystals. An ordinary true warrior. It took at least 2 or 3 days without sleep or rest to get that much. Without any hesitation, it's all for me. Seems like a very potential free spirit miner. For the sake of reviving our family, we need to have a good relationship with him. After Anna left, Tabin suddenly revealed a sinister smile. He gestured to open the storage space. Who would have thought that the number of crystals in Anna's hand was only a small amount? Among the hundreds of thousands of crystals, he kept them for himself. He happily thought that in the future, he would have to find a secret place to secretly eat the pieces alone. Time passed quickly in the half-land god area. Tabin and Anna returned to the shop. Tabin clenched his fist and screamed with joy inside. Very good. The golden bird god demon body smoothly broke through to the second level. My current strength is already level 9. And the demonic divine fist also reached the first level in the last battle. Currently, one basic punch can kill a level 9 powerhouse. Plus Lin Kong's flying ability. Even though his energy level is only level 6, he completely pretends to the outside world. Nguyen Thien then was seriously injured in the battle with Anna that time. I'm afraid I've fallen out of the sea. Then in this land, the only thing that can threaten me is another level of legend. My strength in my normal state needs to surpass this person. Then he rubbed her hand with Anna who was waiting behind. Hurry up and called Wang Nhu Yen to get ready. Yesterday I spent a lot of money on advertising. The store is definitely crowded today. It's about to be busy. The store will be packed. In the evening, To Lang Wei returned home after school. I was a little suspicious looking at the fallen leaves outside the store. It was so quiet today. She quickly walked up and asked her brother who was sitting outside like a homeless person. Did he close the door early today? I asked calmly and sullenly. I told you I was busy with work today and shouldn't come over. Why did you still come here? Tu Lang Wei hesitated. It's not like you're busy with business, is it? Besides, school's already over. There's also a class from teacher Vong Doc Duok tonight. Tu Lang Wei looked at the search trend on his brother's screen. Phi Phian Pet Store was nominated to the top of the city-wide elite tournament. Top 3 highest cumulative consumption in the entire store branch. Will be recruited directly. There is no cost to attend. Tu Lang Wei realized that her brother was being used to rob customers. Anger rose up in my head, it was so vile. Use this trick again to attract customers. They have dozens of branches across the city. Attracting so many visitors. Even if it's just a fee to attend. It's enough money to kill me. Tu Lang Wei was so angry that she stomped her feet. Tu Bin, on the other hand, felt that his sister was dissatisfied on his behalf. Still find it funny. Ms. Angry said. What are you laughing at? Your store is about to close. Tu Bin looked at his sister happily. I just saw your appearance just now. You look like the shop owner. Also like cheese sticks. Hearing that, Tu Lang Wei couldn't help but blush. What are you talking about? I just think this is unfair. I'm upset with you. Into Bin's eyes, a cold light flashed. Isn't it fair? I also find it unfair. But what they do is not that simple. They also invited the previous champion to represent and speak. That's why customers are attracted. And most people are blind and believe in authority. Perhaps all the guests of this city will be drawn there by them. Tu Lang Wei looked worriedly at Tu Bin. No, we can't let them do that. Or we can also attract the top 10 to work for us first. Tu Bin heard that and smiled slightly. If you want to do it, you have to do it big. Hello. If you have watched this far, it proves that Tom's effort in making long videos is not in vain. Please click like and comment number 3 to let Tom know so that Tom can translate more long video stories. Sincerely thank. Right when Tu Bin announced that he would be promoted to an indeterminate position, someone jumped out and said that the naughty little store was a scam. This store has nurtured his pets. Tu Bin looked at the list in his hand for a moment, then asked him if his name was Tun Ku Ku, right? The other day, we still kept the information that he had accepted it. The sperm pet was taken away yesterday and there were no problems. Tu Bin took out the list of inquiries. We still kept his signature agreeing to receive the star pet. It's you, right? Tun Ku immediately shouted angrily. What if it's me? Tu Bin looked at the injured pet lying on the ground and said, Don't rush, just take your time. Let me check your pet. Tun Ku hurriedly said, This Aurora Spirit Fox only started to get sick after returning home. The moment Tu Bin used the indirect technique, the system that appeared was the ice and thunder dual attribute of the lightning element. The property of protecting guard master, poor qualifications, rare pet beast in the fox clan with loyalty. Tu Bin silently analyzed, just as the other guy said, his combat power dropped sharply. But this scar doesn't look like being sick, it's more like being poisoned. After Tu Bin stood up, he turned to Anna and asked, Anna, do you know how to heal? Aro Anna heard that and nodded to show understanding. Tun Ku on the side suddenly started to panic. Don't play dumb anymore. I went to the Star Pet Hospital in the city. The doctor said it was due to your indiscriminate care, plus the change due to medication. Crap that leads to poisoning and deformities. Not to mention healing, now even surviving is a big problem. Before he could finish speaking, he heard a squeezing sound. It's too noisy, get away, you shrimp. Anna slowly walked towards the Aurora Spirit Lake. After being knocked to the ground, Tun Kao immediately became angry on the spot. Do you dare to hit me? I only saw Anna approaching the pet beast, squatting down and reaching out to touch the Aurora Spirit Fox trembling on the ground. The rich divine power penetrated into Anna's fingertips. Inside this spirit fox's body, rays of divine power covered the Aurora Spirit Fox, emitting waves of divine aura. A moment later, an ugly rash appeared on the snow-white fur of the Aurora Spirit Fox. Slowly disappeared, its body was healing quickly, in just a moment. After the divine power was withdrawn, the Aurora Spirit Lake had recovered, its hair was as white as snow, and its fur still had a hint of golden radiance. It's amazing, and it also makes people around who have never seen the healing process. Extremely surprised, Bin used appraisal techniques to examine. The fighting power of the Aurora Spirit Fox increased to average level 7, and its aptitude also increased to lower level. Bin also thought to himself in surprise. Not only was the poison cured, even his aptitude was raised to a higher level. The 9-light Spirit Fox has been restored to its original state. After speaking for a while because he didn't understand what was going on, Tun Kao was a bit surprised. He knows better than anyone else who caused the purple spots on his pet beast. Bin on the side didn't say anything, just staring at him with gloomy eyes. Tun Kao saw Bin's eyes and suddenly felt the hairs on his neck stand up slightly. He hastily said, now that you have healed it, I won't pursue it anymore. Just now, it's like I offended you. Please understand, Aurora Spirit Fox, let's go. Just as he was about to leave with the Aurora Spirit Fox, the moment he turned to leave, Bin's hand pressed down on his shoulder, causing a huge ruckus in my pet shop. After Anna cured the Aurora poison, he wanted to turn around and leave. Before he could leave the gate, Bin held him in place. Then he switched to Bin's cold voice. Don't be impatient, young man, look, our store also has healthcare services. Please follow us upstairs for convenient service. A moment later, in a secret room in the pet shop, this time on business with Tun Kao, Bin looked at him coldly. His first reaction when he saw the star pet being cured was not happiness, but tension, stating clearly that your purpose for causing trouble is not such a simple star pet matter. Who sent you? Tun Kao is both worried and afraid. He also knew that once released, it could be worse than death. What are you talking about? I don't understand what you're saying. Color, let me go, otherwise I will report to the police and take everyone to the ward. Bin laughed, it seemed like he wouldn't open his mouth if he didn't suffer. Immediately the energy in Bin's hand condensed, directly raising one person and one pet into the air. Tun Kao immediately broke out in a cold sweat. You are of the title level. Bin raised his eyebrows and opened his mouth again. I remember this, the nobleman said. You can have the right to kill someone without committing a crime. Is it really possible to be innocent? I haven't tried it yet. Do you want to be dismissed? Tun Kao's body was twisted into a strange position and he quickly shouted loudly. I said. It was Lu Jia that I came, Bin said coldly. Tell me clearly. In his heart, he secretly thought, is it Lu Jia behind 5Am's pet shop? After falling to the ground, Tun Kao quickly told the truth. My star pet competed with someone else yesterday. When I was not careful, he was seriously injured and had to be cured before the tournament. Needing a large number, then Lu Jia's people came to me. They said just blame your shop. I will get free treatment, Bin continued to ask. What is the name of the person who sent you here? What does he look like? What is his appearance? Tun Kao responded with pressure. I don't know. They were wearing masks. I couldn't see their faces clearly, Bin said, looking at Anna's voice transmission. Do you have any magic to pry his mind? Hearing that, Anna coldly expressed. Our God clan has never used this kind of despicable means. Then add 2 more staff points. Anna was a bit skeptical. Didn't he already declare? Are you worried he's lying? Bin nodded. He declared so smoothly and fluently. Furthermore, the causes and consequences are too detailed. Just like before, 5Am's pet shop uses this kind of lowly method. Once it backfires, they will suffer heavy losses. When Tun Kao saw Anna approaching, he suddenly panicked. Auntie, what are you going to do? Aurora Spirit Fox, save me. In an instant, the Aurora Spirit Fox's limbs kicked the ground and its body curved up. That fox's mouth is flashing light. It's obvious that he's using the extreme shooting skill. Then it burst into a roar of anger. The polar ray shot towards Kyu Anna. Anna slowly raised her hand to block the rays of light. The divine golden color condensed on her hand. Directly transferred to Sun Kao. The moment Anna performed her magic, Tun Kao immediately let out a terrible scream. What exactly happened to make Tabin so angry? Directly brought 3 great star pets to Chu family's door to punish. Not long ago, to see if the Lu family was really playing tricks behind their backs or not. Tabin signaled Anna to directly use the spirit with Tun Kao. Next moment, his memories flashed back. Tun Kao originally wanted to rely on the pole to throw the spirit fox. Take a high position in the tournament to win prizes. Unexpectedly, as soon as he left, he would encounter a debt collector from the Chu family. I originally intended to beg them until after receiving the reward. But, you should inject this poison into the star pet's body. Then, give it to the Lu family to repay the debt, and that's it. Tun Kao trembled as he looked at the venom in his hand. I heard they are poisonous. It will rot all over the body. Die in pain. There is no antidote. The Chu family grinned. Isn't it just a level 6 star pet? If you succeed, the Chu family will reward you with a level 8 bloodline pet. Are you happy? Face such temptation. He decided to inject his extremely loyal soul fox into his body. Tabin finished watching and immediately gritted his teeth and said, "You're such a mess." Tun Kao immediately asked for forgiveness. I'm also cornered. Please forgive me. Right at this moment, the spirit fox next to him sensed that his owner was in trouble. Immediately there was a burst of anger. Immediately afterwards, the spirit fox flew fiercely towards Tabin. Opening his mouth towards Tabin and raising his hand was a biting attack. Tabin looked at it and didn't want to resist. Seeing this, Tun Kao quickly opened his mouth to speak. For her sake, spare me this once. I will treat her well. She cannot be without me. Tabin's heart is very angry. After taking a deep breath, he said coldly, Anna, give you 2 more points. Break the contract for me. As soon as Anna heard the point, she immediately nodded in agreement. Right after that, Anna summoned the spear god. She held the spear and swung it between one person and one animal. That golden god is in the void. It seemed like countless small red threads had been cut off. A second ago, the spirit fox had even bitten Tabin's hand. After countless blood-colored threads dissipated, it slowly released its mouth. Look in one direction and go straight without looking back. Tun Kao watched the spirit fox slowly leave. He called out, toss the spirit fox. Come back here, I am your master. Turning right back, suddenly turned into Tabin's cold voice. You don't deserve to own it. You scum. At this time, Tun Kao panicked. No, boss 2, don't kill me. Please forgive me. Tabin coldly pulled him by the neck and quickly flew up. Killing you dirty my hands. A moment later, Tabin with angry feelings went to Chujia's residence in the sky. Look, that's a title-level powerhouse in the sky. I only saw Tabin holding Tun Kao with one hand. At the same time, his side summoned a temporary mighty general. Hell's bamboo dragon beast is in the air emitting anger next to Long Kuyan and Little Merovong. Precepts and blessings of energy control skills. Also married to the wind and flying in mid-air. Coldly looking down at the Chu family. The 2 guards guarding the gate below couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat when they saw this. I would like to ask this expert of his great reputation. What is the matter with you coming to Chu residence? Tabin's whole body was covered with energy. The man's voice was cold as ice. Call your clan leader out here. The owner of the small peach shop has something to see. Right now Tabin is floating above the palace. Sir, please wait a moment. We have already reported to the patriarch. Tabin answered while holding the corrugated iron's neck. I don't really like waiting. Purgatory bamboo dragon beast, shall we go up? He climbed onto the river dragon's head straight into the royal family. Halfway there, a blue force stopped him. What is this again? Looking down, there was a group of castles from the prefectural palace already in formation. These are the 4 great secret formations of the Chu family. Huyan Vu Ro Tiger Formation. Made up of 32 warriors with combat power level 8 or higher. This formation can block attacks up to average level 9. Call your captain out here. Everyone is deaf. Huh? Lies. What kind of person is the patriarch? If you want to meet him, you will meet him. This guy is the leader of the district, with a lower level 9 combat power. He continued, without an appointment, even if the person is a knight or the father of a knight, he will not be allowed in. Okay, I called but didn't hear you. Why don't you knock on the door and see? Having finished speaking, he put strength on his left arm and swung it out. Chan Demon Divine Right to Binomial. Fuck ma. The moment bowling moves, even the royal family's servants gasped. What kind of martial arts is this? This is not a move that a good wind level can perform. Concentrate all your mortal strength to stop me. Whoever retreats, slash. Then, there began to be a cracking sound like a broken mirror, and the formation began to crack. The leader said sorry, he was just a good wind level guy. It was impossible to break the Zanvu line of tigers with one move. A second later, the 32 most elite clansmen of the province only saw a pile of red sperm spit out from their mouths. It's unbelievable, it's unbelievable. Isn't this kid planning to destroy the whole family? As soon as he finished speaking, he saw 2 figures fly out from inside. The 2 men blurted out 8 words in unison. It's better to be a broken jade than a healthy tile. Many thanks to the 2 protectors for their assistance. These 2 old guys were lucky enough to block Tabin's blow. Start teaching morality. The royal family is the elite human race of the royal family, trained by the most outstanding children of the royal family. The lowest strategic candidate is also a level 7 war devourer. Since when are you guys so useless? The patriarch stuck his head out and spoke. Even a knight-level brat couldn't stop him. Then the big-headed leader knelt down. Please order from the patriarch. I will go and fight back the enemy to atone for my sins. At this time, the bamboo dragon beast began to land on the ground. Tabin growled. Are you the head of the Chow family? Then I'll say it right away. Your people have planned to harm little Peach Gas. Color handed them over here. The brat's mouth still smelled of milk and he was so arrogant that he arbitrarily broke into the palace, injured 32 prisoners of the clan, and even dared to give orders to the clan leader. This name is Chow Thin Quang, left protector of the Chow family, average strategy level 9. The name on the right is Chow K. Also the average level 9, promised to protect the Dharma of the continent. Haha, came in here alone, still loudly asking for someone. Having finished speaking, he waved his hand to summon. Dream Chaos Beast, average level 9. Kill him for me. Behind, a group of little mules happily flew to follow. My brothers didn't come here to share this guy's meat. Tabin smiled faintly. Really? The number of you shrimp is impressive. Let's rush up here to find food. It's true that youth has not yet experienced life. Today I will open your eyes. He began to shout a final battle cry. The soldiers behind spoke in unison, clearly. Then the force gathered together to create a big-sized green dragon. Its mouth holds an equally large sword. Tan Long Chu Immortal Formation. Ha, that's a big dragon. Where's the chief? Are you still determined to cover up the criminals? Kid, you'll still be old when you die. This guy thought to himself. The gap between level 9 lower and upper levels is very large. It can even be said to be like level 3 fighting level 9. He continued, if you ask for forgiveness now, there is still time. From your strategy, I predict that all red quarks will be at the upper level of level 9. As for the strategy of this Tan Long Chu Tian battle, it is the ultimate level 9. It can be said to be a semi-legendary. Can even compete with the title Dao Tun. Tabin did not say anything more. He ordered Purgatory Bamboo Dragon Beast and Dark Dragon Dog. Let's show them our bravery. The two of them growled and started to run away. Two huge forces collided with each other, making a tinkling sound. The force of the wind was so strong that Tun Kao, even 10 meters away, had to scream. Ah, save me, save me. The Chow family's left and right Dharma protectors also gasped when they saw that scene. Auntie, Was the limit level 9 dragon magic statue's attack actually blocked? What level of defense is this? Bin sighed. That's right, I didn't come here to reason with you. Having finished speaking, the little Marrow King rushed forward and jumped onto the blue dragon's head. Waving the chipped sword, the blood flowed, compressing the force into a giant blood tank. The patriarch looked puzzled. What could this small skeleton do? Long, with many years of fighting experience, the old man of the Chow family realized that his fighting heart was painfully caused by dry urination. A drop of sweat as big as a cartwheel landed on his bald forehead. This is an extremely rare form of that god. In an instant, golden light swirled around the old man, and he raised his hand to form a hand seal. This frog-like skeleton could not be underestimated. He summoned the vermilion fire armor, piece by piece of gold, like roof tiles appearing in the air and covering the green dragon's body like a set of armor. Now I'm just starting to think about transformation. This old man is so interesting. But it's too late. In the past, when it came to the small dry building scene, going into battle was always game over for Bin's opponent. This time was no exception. His eyes flashed red with murderous aura. He grabbed the bone knife from the air and slashed it down. A decisive line. The red knife's line lasted dozens of meters, hitting the green dragon with yellow armor into several pieces, sending smoke and dust flying into the sky. The old man clutched his chest and spit out a mouthful of strawberry syrup, still unable to accept what was happening with just one move. Pearl Thien Quang and Pearl Thistle were also beaten, showing their altar before their eyes. Who would have thought that originally he wanted to lure him into using a knife behind the Liu family's back? How could he know that this was him carrying a snake to bite a chicken? I carefully used my energy to delete unnecessary things, and didn't keep any documents to avoid future disasters. How did he know this secret? The light surrounding Bin's body looked like he was radiating aura, but his face was cold and unchanged. Once again, I asked, is the patriarch still covering him? The old man waved his hand to the servant, telling him to quickly hand him over to the male lead. Now, if you still stubbornly refuse to hand it over, what you have to hand over is your old life. At that time, I thought I was very smart and wanted to borrow this young man's hand for a bit, but I didn't expect that I would knock over my own bowl of rice. The old man was panting on the outside while thinking about the situation after this war and the casualties. More than half of the ancestral houses had their roofs blown off, and the 4 titles and titles were left with only their belts. There was no benefit, only loss. Today's events can only be sweetened by soapstone. Very sweet. Soon the servants delivered 3 men with their hands chopped off and shaking on their knees. Who is that guy, his teeth and lips chattering, asking for his life? Chow Lao closed his eyes and accepted the fate of these guys as you decided, having committed an offense, and added a sentence hoping that you would severely punish them. Bin threw Tun Kao on the ground, then said to look closely to see if there was anyone left. 4 pairs of eyes stared at each other for a few seconds, then he scratched his head. I didn't know any of these people. But the guys who were blinded were like, who is this? Where am I? Bin frowned looking at the situation. Does anyone know anyone? Obviously these people are the 3 people who appeared in Tun Kao's memories. He pondered the possibilities, perhaps their memories had been touched by someone. Chao Kei watched from afar as his shadow was flying about. I couldn't help but feel proud that I had to work with so many people, assigning tasks step by step, erasing the image of my family in my memory. Important memories do not exist for them. The old man frowned in displeasure. Never would have thought that this brat would actually find his way to the royal family's door and cause trouble. It is estimated that Bin used some treasure to search Tun Kao's subconscious, but now only fragments of memory remain. Thinking so, he suddenly grinned. Such a powerful treasure must consume a lot of the user's physical strength, or the number of times it can be used must be limited. So he cannot continue to use it anymore. To find the mastermind, which is me. While the guys below were getting acquainted from the beginning, Bin impatiently took out the golden needle and sent 3 souls into the clouds right before Tun Kao's gaze. He coldly spoke to the tribal chief, don't think these things can fool me. He withdrew the needle, let it hover in his palm, and I repeated it one last time, handing it over to all involved people. Smearing the reputation of our store is the only way to clean it with blood. He was just a young man. How could he act so cold and heartless? The Chow patriarch saw him killing people, but his eyelids did not blink. He sullenly replied that there were still people coming to wait for him to calm down. Saying that, he waved his hand and signaled the servants to follow orders. From the crowd came groans. Everyone seemed to be facing the judgment of the King of Hell. They all showed fear on their faces. As long as they could live, they would do anything. The patriarch of the continent raised his hand, and here are all the people who participated in the plan. Please handle it. He walked past the group of people kneeling on the ground. He is not a random murderer. He can still be forgiven for people who are not the main participants. But coming here today, in addition to the tasks the system assigned him, he still had important things to do. It's about establishing prestige so that this situation doesn't happen again in the future. He closed his eyes for a moment, making the final decision, unable to soften his heart. A short rustling sound and then a puffing sound were heard. Chu Chicken watched Tabin kill all the people below. He had killed so many people that he could probably calm down his anger and go home. Suddenly the system pops up to remind everyone that they have been killed, but the leader is still alive. Mission time remaining 20 hours. Tabin lowered his eyes and called Tiu Ko Lao in a low voice. The male lead's thoughts were transferred to his pet and were immediately fulfilled. Tiu Ko Lao flew up in the wind, pulled out his bone knife, and then neatly slashed the Pearl Mansion in half. Hey, everyone involved has been handed over to you. What else do you want? Destroying my ancestral temple. Where are the morals of being human? Tabin glanced at the person who had just shouted, "Did I say I came to reason? If you don't hand over the person who planned it to me, I can only use the elimination method to gradually find him. Start with you." The patriarch, he introduced himself to the tribal chief. The Hell Bamboo Dragon Beast captured his killing intent, and he opened his mouth to look at the old man threateningly, making him entangled. Who family? Damn it, what the hell are you doing? If we lose the left protector of the Dharma, is it like cutting off one of the hands of the royal family? Because I wanted to protect that arm, I was about to lose my entire life. Chu Kei, step forward. When Chu Kei heard his name, he was afraid to throw his eyes out. Tabin turned his head to look at the person who had just been called, not too quickly or too slowly. He said that the ringleader was you. Is there anything else you want to say? Chu Kei knew that he couldn't run away from the sun. He let out a strange laugh. Who would have thought that just playing dirty with a small shop, in the end the whole clan would face destruction? He knew he couldn't survive. Then he aggressively pointed at Sun Chu. If it wasn't you, my plan cannot be revealed. When I die, I have to bury you too. The old man raised his hand and rushed towards Tun Kao, who was so scared that he wanted to pee his pants. A leader directly took this young man to the afterlife. As soon as he opened his hand, he immediately received a knife from a small skeleton. Hell's Bamboo Dragon Beast, burn it clean. The red fire flared up and burned Chu Kei, who was still struggling inside, making the remaining members of the Chow family look cold. Fortunately, I was not involved in this matter, otherwise this terrible outcome would have been experienced. In the future, this guy's entire residence must be included in the family's forbidden area list, and he cannot be teased. Finally, the system also popped up a notification, successfully killing the ringleader. The crime of tarnishing the reputation of the mischievous pet shop is to pay with your life. Receiving the hellfire of the Bamboo Dragon Beast will burn even the hair to dust. Looking at the remains after a fiery blow from the hellfire Bamboo Dragon Beast, Chu Thien Lam broke out in a cold sweat and quickly called out to him respectfully. Sir, now all those involved in tarnishing the reputation of the store have all been handed over to you. Please calm down your anger. On the contrary, Tabin indifferently shook his head. It's not over yet, it's time to deal with the culprit. He still hasn't asked about the consequences. The Chow family needs to announce the whole city, admit what they did, and clear the store's reputation. In addition, you must compensate me for the loss of one morning. Chu Thien Lam quickly nodded in agreement, and the apology notice would be handled by him personally. On the surface, he politely accepted Tabin's request, but on the inside, he wanted to chop him into 7749 pieces. There have been rumors online for a while now. It is rumored that this naughty shop owner has fought many legendary levels. Who would have thought that the truth was not a rumor? Why not tell the truth from the beginning? His Chow family probably didn't dare to provoke him. If he finds out who spread that rumor, he will definitely be punished. Chow Thin Lam bowed respectfully and asked Bin about the compensation issue. I don't know if this tribe has anything you can keep an eye on: money, houses, cars, or treasures. Bin smiled and raised his index finger. I don't need much, a treasure to train my battle pet master is enough. After speaking, his eyes flashed and he looked threatening. I want your subordinates to train you to the level of young masters. Chow Thin Lam felt like the ground under his feet was cracking. I knew he would definitely ask for something expensive, but I didn't expect him to want something that only the family heirs could have. Because to nurture the qualities of the next generation to keep up with the level of the previous generation. Qualifications of the heir. It can be said that the whole family worked hard to make it happen. Whatever is in the hands of the heir is created by the entire clan. Now he wants the Chow family to hand it over to him. It's like asking for the lives of the entire Chow family at once. Handing over everything to him. How can the Chow family be able to look up at people for the next few generations? Become a bunch of stupid pigs? Bin heard that and did not deny it. Yes. But there is one thing people have overlooked. Even though the successor is actually a real pig, I can also bring a pig to the position of Chow family patriarch. The left protects the Dharma and Chu Vong Quan. Hearing him say that made me so angry that I pointed at him and shouted. Do you dare to compare pigs with our patriarch? Don't insult us. If you like, just rush in and make a living. Suddenly Thin Lam Chow stood above and suddenly shouted loudly. Everyone shut up. He knows that if he's still here, he shouldn't talk nonsense. The subordinates below were confused when they saw the elder's attitude like that. They didn't understand why Chu Thin Lam could be so patient. Chu Thin Lam glanced at Bin, who was clasping his hands and looking into the distance. But the little skeleton stared at him as he emitted a fiery aura. Have you forgotten? The type of skeleton that this person carried was not shaped like anyone else. But it should only be a level 1 bloodline star pet. But under his training, a level 1 bloodline star pet also gave us a fright. It also shows off its aura and strength equivalent to that of a king beast. Uncle Thin Lam, with deep fishing energy, opened his mouth to speak again. He said pigs can also be trained up to level 9. From what I observed, I'm afraid he's telling the truth. Bin said that even if he was a pig, there was a reason why he would elevate him to the position of the patriarch. The old servants just now wanted to fight one-on-one. After hearing Chow Thin Lam's words, he immediately became disillusioned. For a moment, stunned on the spot, Bin still clasped his hands behind his back and spoke. It's true that the patriarch is different, you understand quickly. That's right, if you cooperate with me, I can nurture your pet beasts to become super strong, and also provide rare pet foods below the market price. Suddenly he smiled and turned around. You must have wanted a position in the 4 great families for a long time, right? To challenge the 4 great families, you need to be equipped with a good army, and I can give you enough equipment. I can still do it by smuggling guns and ammunition. Chu Thin Lam's face couldn't help but be shocked when he heard that. Could it be that your target is also the 4 great families? Bin slowly patted the old man's shoulder and said, to be human, you must know how to look far and wide. The so-called 4 great families. Bin didn't even bother to look at it. His goal is to turn this whole city into his store territory. From then on, his pet shop Mischievous was ranked number 1 in Blue Tin. The next morning, after the Chu family's apology was published everywhere, there were many people in front of the playful pet shop. They kept talking and arguing. It turned out that it was because of the Chow family's bad behavior that Boss 2 didn't do those things. I told you there's no problem with this store. I heard that Boss 2, in anger last week, went to the Chow family. Chopping down Chow's ancestral house into 4 pieces, it looked like a rice field. Unexpectedly, the online rumors about this store were true. Boss 2 is not a person who plays dirty. At this time, the system displays a notification that the store's reputation has been restored. Please draw skill books for legendary level star pets. Bin smiled and immediately picked up the book. Immediately after, a yellow light appeared before his eyes. Bin couldn't help but look forward to what kind of skillbook it would be. As the yellow light dissipated, the name of the skillbook gradually appeared. This is a secret book called Beast Soul Fusion. It is a book that teaches skills for legendary level star pets. Gives the pet the ability to merge with its owner for a short time. After merging, the owner can temporarily receive the full combat power of the star pet. This skill after fusion is twice as effective as the original. Bin finished reading the introduction and suddenly trembled. Again, the fusion skill. Ability that only a legendary level battle pet master can possess. Can he use it now? This reward is a bit generous. He silently pondered. Such terrible skill books. Which spirit pet should I give my child? If I let the Hell Dragon Beast use it, I can transform into a dragon warrior. Can breathe dragon flames or fly in the air. Having dragon wings also looks majestic. Just thinking about it, I see a lot of this and that. But most importantly, he has been flying for a long time. Just curious what it would be like to transform into a dragon-style flying dragon. If used by the Dark Dragon Dog, then the enhanced version of 100 Li Soul Chasing can be used. That's also a good choice, but becoming a dog warrior. Thinking about the scene of a dog running after a lump of dew, how strange it is. Then he decisively opened the summoning space and spoke slowly. Only you are worthy of this skill book. Come out here. From the vortex, it summons someone who everyone knows is someone. Dark energy continuously spreads out from there. Accompanied by rolling demonic energy, a low roar passed out, and the little skeleton filled with demonic energy appeared again, just setting foot on the ground. It raised its bone knife and looked back and forth, extremely alert to its surroundings. Big brother, this time I won't ask you to come out here and fight. Then he stuffed the yellow book into the little dry book. Seeing its owner, its eyes lit up, showing shyness. Bin was also confused. Quickly chew the book, it's delicious. With Bin's permission, the little marrow tower immediately absorbed the secret book. In the hands of a small skeleton, the entire book of secrets slowly dissipated, turning into tiny strands that disappeared. The long-term dry urine information panel appears. The current level is upper level 7. Strategy 11.5. Middle class qualities. When the energy appears, the animal soul merges. Bin looked blankly at the information board. The strategy gained more than half a point. That's pretty cool. He patted the little skeleton's head in a pampering manner. Since the little bone absorbed all that blood pearl, appearance has become like that. Combat power also increases by up to 10 points. From then on, normal wars are impossible. Help it increase its fighting power. These 10 strategic points of the small core are equivalent to the highest level of Long Cot Tower. They are all the power of CP King Beasts. Rely on the system's revival mechanism to win. That time the combat power only increased to 10.1. After entering the land of semi-gods, he had to fight many times with the star insect race. Need more help from Anna. Just broke through to level 11. I didn't expect that this skillbook could help make urination less difficult. Nothing has increased by 0.5 strategy points. As expected of a legendary level skillbook. It's too good for a cow. The storm in the shop finally ended. It's time to tackle the upcoming championship tournament. He touched the watch and sent a message to Deep Tran Sun. Feel free to gently press the like button for Tom, nothing more. Like it. After resolving the pet store's reputation, Bin officially started the champion training program. Hua Kuang stood next to Lang Wei. He muttered in horror. The person who is talking to Boss Su. Could it be that the person with the magical power of the sword can kill countless level 9 monsters with his own strength without shaking his hands? The person who has stood firmly at the ultimate title level for so long. Who else but the legendary Dao Tun? Dao Tun looked around the shop. Without hiding his surprise, he exclaimed. After a few days of not seeing Mr. Tu, the store seemed to have changed with much more vitality, almost without realizing it. This time you asked me to come here, you must be well prepared to learn the sword technique. Bin smiled. That's right, I wonder how he likes the site. Dao Venerable replied, my sword technique needs a spacious place with majestic scenery. It is best to have mountains and seas. Tabin nodded to show that there was no problem, and his hands began to operate on the screen. Next, where the two people stood, a window without glass appeared. The white wall around that doorframe began to change color. The ground also begins to show mountains and oceans. This room suddenly turned into a battleground on a mountain with a sea, causing Dao Tun to look around and not believe his eyes. Why is this hologram so realistic? We can even smell the ocean. Tabin smiled and said to him, "These are just trivial skills that are not worth mentioning.